Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tanny the Digital Realtor here with eXp Realty. Thank you for tuning in. If you find this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share, all right? So tip number 2, when it comes to selling a home on your own, the most important thing is property marketing. And since there's a lot involved in property marketing, I'm gonna break it down into 8 different sections, all right? So first things first, you wanna make sure that you get a yard sign out there, all right? You'll be able to get a yard sign from either Lowe's or Home Depot. Highly recommend you get a nice big for sale by owner sign, and if you're able to, even go do the wood post. Otherwise, you can get a vinyl post off of Amazon. I'll have the link down below where you'll be able to get that. But then you'll have to create a sign for sale by owner sign. That's really going above and beyond. But your typical for sale by owner sign with the property information and as well the phone number will be more than good enough. All right. And I highly recommend you get a info box out there or info tube. Attach it to that yard sign and put some info sheets in there of your actual property. What you can do is use a platform like Canva to be able to design your actual advertisement. Canva.com, Canva.com. It's all free, but that's where you would go for that. Or otherwise, you can just simply print out your Zillow sheet and it'll have your information as well. But part two is if depending on the areas that you're at, this may or may not work because it requires a busier road in order to do this. But if you are located nearby a busier road, you're off the side streets somewhere right a couple of turns, what I highly recommend doing is getting getting a bunch of directional signs and speak to the neighbors. Usually the best spots to do this in is in the corners where it's actual public property still. And these are called bandit signs. You can get them from Home Depot, Lowe's, cost about like $5 each. But essentially you want to take them from the busy road and have directional signs eventually leading up to your home where they'll be able to see your for sale by owner sign and as well the info box where they'll be able to grab the info sheet of your property, look it up, and get more information, right? So part 3, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're using all the online real estate resources available to you. So the most popular one is Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and as well realtor.com. All right. So those are the 4 places that you want to make sure your home is definitely posted on because that's where a lot of the eyeballs are going to be coming from and as well the buyers. Okay. So part 4 is social media ads. For those of you that are tech savvy and able to do this, highly recommend you run a Facebook ad, Google ad, and Instagram ad, all right? Even YouTube ad if possible, if you have a professional video done. And I always recommend that you hire a professional photographer. I'll have a link down below for that as well for a professional photographer if you need over here in the Hampton Roads. But highly recommend doing that because about $20 will get you in front of 20,000 people, all right? And you wanna make sure that you don't leave any stones unturned and get your property in front of as many people as possible. And you do that through paid advertisement. And all this stuff that I'm talking about right now comes included with my services for those of you that are curious. So I'll have a link down below as well for my information in case if you wanted to reach out. But definitely recommend paid advertisement. And what you want to do with these paid advertisement or all of your ads, I highly recommend that you have the Zillow link. Posted on there because what that will do is it'll drive views and saves to your Zillow ad. And how Zillow works, for those of you that aren't unaware, there's actually an algorithm behind their system. So it works off of views and saves. So the more views and saves that your property has, the more that Zillow will actually work for you for free and advertise to their database. Whether if it is emailing them or whether if it's showing up on your apps, showing up as homes you may be interested in. But the best part is Zillow spends thousands of dollars every single day on paid advertisement platforms such as Facebook and Google. And the more views and saves that your property has, the higher the chances are of you showing up on those paid advertisements. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that. And as well, another cool thing people overlook is your sphere of influence. So number 5 is the sphere of influence. And what I mean by sphere of influence, these are people that right? And here in Hampton Roads, a lot of people are, either former military or whatever the case might be. Even if you're not military, if you have a big database, I highly recommend that you send out a blast email to everybody, letting them know about your home that you have up for sale. Put a nice little description, and as well, make sure you put the Zillow link there because what that will do is they'll drive traffic to your Zillow ad and add on views. Right, and keep in mind, the more views and saves that you have, the more Zillow will work for you for free. So definitely do that. And 6 open house. So open house is something that, you know, a lot of people overlook, because what ends up happening is there's a feeling, people think that you're really just going to get looky-loos, which is not true technically, because yeah, you'll get looky-loos, but the main crowd that you're trying to advertise to are the people that are too busy and their schedule does not align with their buyer's agent, or either it doesn't align with the homeowners. Because keep in mind, in order for a buyer to see the property, they need to be with the buyer's agent or either with the homeowner, right? So what's gonna happen is, you know, especially nowadays, you have people working 2 jobs, 3 jobs at times, and their schedule is so crazy that their schedule just doesn't align with their buyer agent or the homeowner. I know 2 people right now that I'm working with where they have to go strictly to open houses due to the fact that I can't do any showings at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, I do have a life outside of real estate as well. So that's what ends up happening. So, and the really cool thing about it is on those websites like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, realtor.com, when they save or favorite your property, those people will actually get alerted. So I highly recommend you plan your open house at least 1 week in advance. So this way people get alerted on a daily basis that there's an open house coming up. And it also works if there's any price adjustments. So, you know, keep that in mind. That's why it's so important that you have the marketing right from the beginning. And I always recommend getting a professional photographer because it's going to capture their attention. All right. And lastly, the most important thing with marketing is cooperating with buyer's agents. So a lot of people that are looking to sell on their own, they do it because they want to save money, which I don't blame you. However, you do want to make sure that you're not missing out on other buyers, because how it works is, let's say, for example, you're not cooperating with buyer's agents. You know, you got a couple people in there, got an offer, but did you think that if you were cooperating with a buyer's agent willing to pay out that 3% commission that's usually to the buyer's agent, you would get a lot more buyers in there. So what that means is you would get more offers, right? The higher the chances of you getting more offers. And when you get higher offers, that's when you actually could get better price and better terms. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it if you're looking for sale by owner, because, you know, keep in mind, you're already saving a good amount of money by not working with a listing agent, right? So working with a buyer agent definitely helps out. So highly recommend it for the, you know, you don't have to do any of this stuff that I just mentioned, but these are some tips to help you out. So if you thought this was valuable, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below, and as well subscribe and share. I'm trying to grow my channel and spread my message across Hampton Road, so it would be much appreciated. Just simply like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back with more updates. All right, have a good one.